Code of Success, Developing Rules of Conduct that Transform Organizations and Businesses. Chapter 1. What are rules of conduct? Many elements will eventually have some impact on the general operations of the company. These rules of conduct should also include the proper practices and concepts which cover both ethical codes and honor codes. The basics. From a supervisory aspect, based on the rules of conduct, the company is able to have a certain amount of control over the vital aspects of ensuring negative practices that are unethical are kept out of the daily running of the business dealings. Any negligence, misleading conduct and fraudulent practices can be instantly detected and addressed with the implementation of an effective set of rules of conduct. By following the outline given within the rules of conduct, all those involved will be able to be better focused on the positive elements that would benefit the company, such as being as competent as possible in all dealings, giving due diligence to all tasks, effectively communicating and addressing concerns, handling all processes with discretion and confidentiality, and many more contributing attributes. Having the rules of conduct in place and clearly understood also helps to eliminate any unnecessary negative vibes that may arise from the various and sometimes opposing views within the company, as everyone now focuses on common goals instead of individual agendas. These rules of conduct also allows everyone to act in a fairly uniform manner when it comes to addressing end users, as all the guidelines are already present. Chapter 2. Write a mission statement. Every company or business venture should have a clearly defined mission statement. With the clearly defined mission statement in place, the vision or perception of the company's or business's existence is both visible and relevant. Write it. These mission statements should be concise and attention-grabbing without having the selling element tagged to it. It should be inspiring and capable to making the much-needed connection to its desired target audience. It may be wise to avoid jargon when designing a mission statement, as this may only end up confusing the target audience who may not be privy to understanding such connotations, thus causing the mission statement to have little or no impact at all. Besides all this, mission statements can also effectively act as branding tools to further promote the intentions of the business venture or company. Activities within the organizations can be measured and tracked, and everyone connected is working within the reflections of the mission statement, as this helps to convey the essence of the said organization. Mission statements also help to attract attention from outside the organization, as it attracts the interested party to further explore any possible liaisons which can be formed based on the initial understanding of the said mission statement. With the ever-changing market and customer sentiments, it may be a requirement to readjust or to form a completely new mission statement from time to time. Though mission statement should always reflect the company's purposes, it should also be able to address the potential customer's needs or wants in order for the initial connection to be made. When designing the mission statements, having as much input as possible will be an advantage. However, one should always work on the mission statement with the constant element of the original idea as its basis. Chapter 3. Know what your customers expect. Building a business around the perceived want and needs of the target customer base is hardly enough to ensure the attracting element that equates successful purchases being made. Thus, taking the time to research the current needs of the market sentiment would be well worth the trouble, as the individual can then identify products that can cater to the said needs. The importance of this factor should never be underestimated, as it is the one factor that separates the successes and failures of any business. What they want, making it the company mission to understand, cater, and design products or services to fit the findings should at the forefront of each business plan. During the process of garnering a stable and continuous customer base, one should consider the reasons the customers keep coming back for the said product or service. Some of these reasons may include customer satisfaction of the item, pricing of the item, after-sales services provided, good and prompt attention given to the customers, and many others. Thus, in gaining this knowledge, the company can then actively and continuously strive to provide the entire above element at an always improving state. Some of the ways one can get the information needed to keep the customer satisfied is as follows. Encourage the customers to always feedback, whether of a positive nature or a negative nature, and when this feedback is received, ensure that is given the due attention it was initially promised. Monitor the general sentiments regarding the product, company, or service being provided or sold. By using the various tools available on the internet, this task is not only easy, but its accessibility is worldwide. take the trouble to research and improve on the item being advertised and ensure they stay innovative and relevant. Learn from employees who are in direct contact with the customer base about their reasons for their loyalty or lack thereof. Chapter 4. Open the lines of communication with employees. Communication is one of the most important tools within the business arena. Without the avenue of open communication available at all levels within the business frame, many negative elements can develop. These negative elements can then eventually contribute to the downfall of the business venture itself. Therefore, encouraging an open platform style of communication is not only healthy but beneficial too. Communicate, creating the comfortable and openness factor of information sharing within the organization help to foster closer ties between the employees and employers, which would then have the positive impact on both parties working harder to make the venture a success. When all communication is taken seriously and without prejudice, the resulting feeling of worth is immeasurable. However, designing a suitable method or style of communication, ideas, feedbacks, and any other vital information should be clearly drawn up to encourage such sharings without fear of negative repercussions. Whenever possible, avoid closed-door meeting, as this often creates the element of speculation, which more often than not results in unnecessary uneasiness for all those not privy to the meeting's content. Getting employees to put forth their ideas from time to time may eventually create awareness among the employers of the various yet undiscovered capabilities of their employees. Whenever meetings are arranged, ensure time is set aside specifically for all those present to give their opinions and views on the subject matter of the said meeting. By doing so, the company creates a non-confrontational platform for all thoughts to be tabled and aired, and maybe even for new ideas to be put forth. Tapping the communication lines between the various levels within the company structure often yields surprisingly positive information that would otherwise not be known. Also, the fact that these ideas are cost virtually nothing is another reason to encourage open communication. Chapter 5. Balance the needs of customers and employees. Everyone has their own individual needs, and these needs will vary greatly from time to time. Thus, the company needs to be able to provide the suitable recourses to address the needs as and when they may arise. Both the employee and customer play pivotal roles to create the necessary or desired success ratios of a business. Therefore, some serious thought must be put into keeping both these groups as satisfied as possible. Unhappy employees eventually become disgruntled workers, while unhappy customers simply resort to taking their business elsewhere, thus effectively bring about the possible downfall of the company. Recommendations. The following are some recommendations which can be used to address the need for balance between the two parties. Through communication with both employees and as frequently as possible with customers, various support tools can be identified to assist the employees in providing better services to the customers and also keeping the customers happy because of the active interest shown that is perceived to be respecting and prioritizing the customer. Companies that work on shifts could also be encouraged to be more flexible towards shift swapping and time off for personal commitments. Employees who are given such privileges generally stay loyal and work harder for the company, as they perceive the company to be caring and aware of their lives outside the work frame. This then in turn creates happy employees who willingly and consciously go the extra mile to ensure their customers stay happy too, though a little harder and maybe even perceived to be a little unnecessary. Companies that plan their meeting away from the workplace have been noted to be more effective and productive, as the employees are able to muster better mindset and ideas through the more relaxed venues. Taking the extra incentive to invite families along again helps to foster the feelings of worth and care on the part of the company. Chapter 6. Adjust with trial and error and maintain a positive attitude. When venturing into any business endeavor or even within an organization, there are many tried and true methods one can follow in order to maintain a positive attitude. However, make the necessary adjustments should be done as quickly and as positively as possible, while at all times maintaining high elements of a positive attitude. Adjust, though sometimes the experiences can seem rather overwhelming. Making the effort to try new and more innovative methods to achieve the desired success is well worth the effort. It is possible to survive and even thrive in the midst of trial and errors that may seem costly at first. Always advocating to remain positive, respectful, and diplomatic will help create the mindset that is accepting of changes and newer styles that may be necessary to implement for the sake of better business revenues. By forming good working relationships, the impacts of trials and errors become less detrimental, as these alliances will kick in and help to come up with ideas to try to correct the situation. Looking at the trials and errors as learning curves instead of setbacks also helps the individual retain a positive and productive demeanor, which will eventually be the contributing factor to improvements made. Learning from others who may have experienced similar predicaments also helps the individual try the same methods with the positive expectations that can play a role in ensuring its success. Wrapping up. Being humble and seeking the assistance necessary when one is ill-equipped to deal with the problem at hand is also advisable and definitely encouraged, as this not only helps lessen the burden created by the problem but also helps the individual have the hope of positive solutions. Most positive mindsets are able to take any negative experiences and learn from them, thus creating stronger and better business individuals. Please hit the subscribe button for the support of our channel and share our videos for more new upcoming content. We are very happy to create new ideas and review for everyone. God bless and happy listening.